Na 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 BatDay.
Gee Willikers, Batman. Look at all the deals.
Golly, Robin, what's gotten into you? The chuckles? Or is it the deals and steals at your local comic shop on this Batman Day?
Ah, that's what I did. I said your line. Hey, boys and girls. We're the Bad Dinner Guests here tonight.
Where we step on toes and punch feelings.
Absolutely. And ruin people's bits that they set up for you. I am Kev.
I'm Lou. Lucky of Lucky's Comics.
Ah, he's giving away his secret identity.
I am. I gotta kill all of you.
Yep.
The one listener. Sorry, RJ.
You and RJ both do that. You guys like to belittle our audience by pretending there's only one person listening. But, speaking of our audience, if you don't know this by now, it's Batman Day, guys.
It is.
And we're here to talk about all things Batman that we love. And I'll mention to you that there's a new free Batman issue out. Actually, this isn't a new issue, is it?
It isn't. It's a repackaged issue 1 of the Rebirth series of Batman.
But they slapped a new cover on it.
They did.
It says Batman Day on the bottom.
And he looks totally cool. I mean, it's Batman. He always looks cool.
I personally, when we're looking at the cover, I'd like to see a little less bat penis in my cover. If I'm saying, the guy's got a bulge. It's cool. Whatever.
You can only fit so many things in just the belt, though. And that is why Bruce Wayne is popular with the ladies.
I'm just saying, with that package, you probably didn't need the utility belt. I mean...
When your penis is that big, it just is a utility. You charge people for service, inconveniencing service fees, and cancellation costs. It's ridiculous. But I digress.
Speaking of ridiculous... God, I need a new segue. Anyway... I thought this issue was a little ridiculous. This was a Superman issue to me. This was Batman doing Superman things.
A little bit.
Not even like just Superman things. This is Batman doing Silver Era Superman things. This is Batman saving kittens from trees. That is broad strokes what we have here today, people. So it's not a knock. I love Batman. He finds a really cool way to do this.
Yeah.
We don't want to necessarily spoil it for you, so we'll kind of...
Well, we should just throw out the spoiler alert now. I mean...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's safe to say, I mean, if we're going to start talking about this issue, we might as well just throw that out
You
now.
really can't discuss this issue without spoiling it, because only one thing happens.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe two things happen, but the whole... All 20 pages of this is about one event, so, again, spoiler alert. Batman has to save a crisis where there's a plane going down. So
right.
He has to get his Superman on. And
well, to elaborate on what you said, you figure this is about something that, this is all happening over the span of 5 to 10 minutes maybe? The initial engine problems, the plane starts to go down, Batman and Commissioner Gordon were already meeting up, Batman takes off, boom. I like how they got him on the plane. I mean, where does he get these wonderful toys?
Lucius
Fox.
The other Lucius. Not our Lucius, although he could probably make some cool stuff too.
Yeah, I'd probably write up something here and there.
In the Fallout world even. But yeah, so this reminded me of Arkham Knight. Well, first of all, I love the Batmobile in this comic. That's one of my pluses to this. If we're
that is a throwback.
Yeah, it's a nice throwback, and it's got like
that is complete nostalgia.
Face on the front even, which was cool. And he's rocking this sort of Frank Miller looking Batman. Like he kind of reminds me of the Dark Knight Returns a little bit, costume wise. But yeah, the way he did you play the Arkham Knight?
I played the one where they made you be Catwoman.
Okay, so the Arkham Knight is the Xbox One, the next gen one.
Okay.
In which, we should go over that story a little bit, because if you don't know that story, it's phenomenal.
That'd be sexy.
But before we go into there, the one thing that I don't want to say they took it from the game, but one place where this comic has a similarity is in the new Batman game, the newest Batman game, you drive around in the Batmobile and you actually can eject yourself from the Batmobile and instantly go into a glide.
Oh, nice.
Go down and fly around the city that way. So the first thing I saw, as soon as I saw this panel, I was like, oh, I gotta go home and play my Xbox.
Right.
So this episode, I always call these episodes this issue. It was interesting. He gets to do some cool stuff. Alfred does some cool stuff, which they find a way. As boring as it sounds, and what I always do with these, I'm a cheater. I flip through it first.
Mm-hmm.
I look at all the pretty pictures first, and then I come back and read. Sometimes I won't look at the last panel because it's a little too revealing. But I'll flip through this. Before we read it, I flipped through it, and I was like, oh, great. He's saving a crashed plane. This is exciting.
Right.
Way to dick me up and down and fake me out with a free issue, DC. But it's better than it looks on first glance, that's for sure.
I think Alfred certainly went far above and beyond his name of Pennyworth in this episode.
He's at least
in this ish.
At least $1 worth.
Yes, certainly 100 Pennyworth, and I loved the Batmobile. I actually think that directly calls back, I think, to the Frank Miller Batmobile. With the, because it almost looks like a panther face on the front of it, but that was one of the canon Batmobiles from a little while back. If you ever look at the evolution of the Batmobile, I want to say it was 70s and 80s, somewhere between those 2 decades, and I liked how you had him coming to the rescue. I mean, big whoop, and it's fucking Batman. That's if there's a hero, it's the hero coming to the rescue. I thought it was pretty cool because of the element of the people on board the plane kind of giving a little bit more of a flavor context to what's going on. We'll call him passenger in seat 92. I don't remember his name. He's just flipping his shit and losing his mind at what's going on. Mm-hmm. Understandably so. I mean, if you were on an airplane that just, blew up and caught on fire somehow, and you didn't shit your pants, something's wrong with you.
Or that oxygen is working.
Right.
Drop down from the...
Right. That's why they give you pure oxygen, so you start to trip before you die. Because when the human body isn't supposed to just take pure oxygen, that's why our atmosphere is mixed with oxygen and a lot of other things.
That's why there are oxygen bars.
That's, yeah.
But what I thought was, there was a funny little call out, the comic relief in this episode is, God, stop it, Kevin.
Even not me doing it.
Issues. It's because we do too many episodes.
We do.
I have to say that word too often.
We really do.
I mean, hey.
In this episode of Comic Talk, we're going to talk about this ish of this ish.
Yeah, it's, I will never say that we do too many episodes. I should take that back right away. We will never do too many episodes until the day that I die. I want to do this forever. But it was funny, there's a guy on the plane that makes a little spoiler alert joke. He says it blames it on Gotham if we were in Metropolis or some other city.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Passenger in seat 92, man. Because, yeah, you get the hero you deserve.
Just not the one you need right now.
that was probably the best line in it.
There's a...
And then you got that little boy in the same page looking out the window and seeing Batman land on the fucking wing.
Right. Like, sup, dude?
Right.
I heard you had something to say. But, so this...
What's this about the hero you deserve?
Right. This seems to be another... naturally, this is what they do in the first issue of a series. You knew the big tease was coming.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away. I really don't. I'm going to lean to you on this one. What?
I have no idea who he is. I mean, other than him announcing himself at the end, I am Gotham. She is my Gotham Girl.
So yeah, we have, and we don't.
And it looks like they goddamn fly.
And it looks like, it really, honestly looks like Batman and Batgirl from a different time. That, like, if I had to.
Oh, you know what's so great about that?
What?
How we were literally talking about how there's different Batmans in different universes within the DC realm. You know, different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's one of the, what we were talking about. Flashpoint is another one.
Oh yeah, I think that's my favorite alternate Batman story.
That's interesting. My favorite Batman comic, which I will be, I'm going to just tease you guys here for a moment because I'm actually going to do a little micro companion episode to this podcast later today. Try to get some video out, and I'm going to dig through my Batman collection with you guys and show you my favorite Batman comic because I doubt many have read it.
Fair enough.
Obscure, but it talks about this exact same thing. This issue is about a Batman in a parallel universe who actually has knowledge that there are millions of other Batmen on other planets and in other universes, and there's this crazy weird parallel.
Kind of like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it was kind of like it's kind of like a Batman Rick and Morty. And
that really sounds like the. I'm more familiar with the What If series of Marvel.
And this isn't
so,
even
and because that's what they'll talk about, like different worlds, and like, you know, this happened in this world, but look over here how things happen just slightly different.
And speaking of mentioning those, you mentioned these alternate worlds, and this is where I want to have some fun because you mentioned earlier while we were going on our comic book tour, when we went to the comic book shops today to see what the Batman Day crowd was like. I know you have. It's not your fan theory, but I know that you have a storyline that you would love to someday author that is based on a very popular fan theory that people may or may not
be aware of.
So
yeah, I think the thing that I would really love to see is there's this fan theory that Batman is actually, Bruce Wayne is locked up in Arkham Asylum, and Batman is his alter ego, and all of the villains are people who run or are somehow connected to the Arkham Insane Asylum. Like, Joker is the main doctor, Harley Quinn is his assistant, things like the Penguin is one of the biggest donors, so he comes around and sees what the place is like. He likes the police because they come in to try to make sure that they're treating the wards of the asylum right and proper. I would love to see, even if it was just a mini series, but a series where Bruce Wayne is in the insane asylum, and it balloons into a series of him escaping the insane asylum and becoming the real life vigilante that is Batman with his money and influence. Because people with that kind of wealth, they don't, Alfred Pennyworth still has love for him, so he would still be able to get at his money and resources and family power in some fucking way. Do his Batman thing as, the vigilante, but have it so where he's running from, the Joker and the authorities.
And still being Batman.
But having that mixed, where Spider-Man, some people love Spider-Man and some people hate Spider-Man. Some people buy into Spider-Man is a public nuisance, according to the Daily Bugle, and that angle,
yes.
So I think it would make it for a very controversial Batman series.
I'll tell you what, I would love that origin because it would it'd be sort of a spin-off of the same, it's a tired story, especially in the cinematic realm. I'm tired of watching Thomas and Martha Wayne die. But
right.
To add to this, for the listener's sake, that any of those that are not familiar with this theory, I found one of the posts. Where is this? Is on Beamly.com. Someone wrote an article about this, and this shows the meme that says one of the versions of this theory, just to give people an idea of sort of how it would work. I know you mentioned a couple people, but it said, what if Bruce Wayne is actually in Arkham the whole time and Batman is just a delusion he has? Exactly what you're saying.
Right.
Would all of his villains be the orderlies and doctors who work there? And then it goes for some examples. Poison Ivy is the nurse who sedates him when he gets out of control.
Right.
Two-Face is an abusive orderly who acts nice when the doctors are around and then beats up the patients when their backs are turned.
Right.
The Riddler is a therapist who asks him questions that he has a hard time answering. The Mad Hatter is a hypnotherapist who Bruce is convinced is trying to brainwash him. And of course, his arch nemesis, Dr. Joe Carr, and his assistant, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, see Bruce as their top patient, both desperately trying to bring the man back to sanity. Batman will fight with all he has to protect Gotham from the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Right.
And so you could dive in it further than that. Like you mentioned,
yeah. Because I was even thinking about, like, going from the point where his parents were killed and having him go with Alfred Pennyworth to get the hand-to-hand combat training, and then them finding out what Alfred was going to put him up to and take out the people responsible for killing his parents. And that's when Child Protective Services come in and lock him away.
Oh, okay. So you're throwing even another twist on this.
Yeah.
If this were
full
your story,
circle.
It wouldn't be that Alfred is begrudgingly helping Batman. It would be that he is actually in charge of training and has sort of pushed him in this direction.
Oh yeah.
Because you answered a question that I already had for you, was how do you get Bruce Wayne into the insane asylum and still make him be a functioning hero once he breaks out? And
I was thinking, the trauma of being torn from Alfred Pennyworth is the thing that makes him. That's the thing that shatters the last pane of glass in his sanity. Because watching his parents get murdered and being, have him stripped from Alfred Pennyworth at like 15, 16 years old, where he's old enough to, he can take on a grown man or two, and it would be feasible. You see what I'm saying? With the training and stuff. He's not a wimp.
Right. And
he could take out two thugs in the street.
Well, it's a comic book, too.
And a dame in the sheet.
At least one.
Yeah.
And something that I would throw out there as maybe a little wrinkle for what you could do here.
And Robin could be his cellmate.
Exactly. And that's what, once he was put into the asylum at a young age, you could always just add to the story that the drugs that he's under have an adverse effect, and they sort of play on his psychosis and his hallucinations.
Right.
So that way, when you would have this free Batman out on the prowl being hunted by the cops and the people at Arkham to get him brought in, that he would start to relapse from his drugs. He might start to have more memories. He may also have some auto hallucinatory events. Stuff.
Definitely, that'd probably be how he would actually solve the murder. Mm-hmm. Is because of being able to see through the drug-fueled haze of what the drugs were stopping him seeing. Because there would have to be the element of the people that want to stop the Bruce Wayne money and influence being behind his family's murder. That has to kind of somewhat be a constant, I believe.
I think that would have to be a very major underlying theme. Would be in order for this.
Whether it's the Parliament of Owls or whatever.
Yeah, or just a new created entity, something like, to draw from what we are currently seeing in the DC universe, we could have a situation where, I don't want to turn Lucius Fox into a bad guy, but there's someone, maybe replace a Lucius Fox, just have someone else be in charge of Wayne Enterprises right now.
The sexy thing about that is people could there are people that sympathize with him because they understand what really happened. Like I said, having the duality of him breaking out of the insane asylum would put some people off, but he would also still have his fans. People still like Batman. Or as people, you know what I mean?
Well, but
people it's a mixed pool.
But I feel like it would be a different dynamic this time because
I think I would play him like the politician, to where he uses Batman's antics to keep himself out of the newspapers, and that would be his master plan of, giving Batman all his wonderful toys.
You've lost me here. I don't.
Keeping Wayne Enterprises' name out of the newspapers and having Batman on the front page.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's giving a lot of credit to an insane person, though. I thought the whole
Lucius
idea.
Fox.
Oh, Lucius Fox. I see.
Let's talk about Lucius Fox.
We're crossed. No, see,
we crossed streams a little bit too hard on that one.
Yeah, no, that's why I tried to rescind the name of Lucius Fox, because that was not the
route you wanted to go.
Not what I was saying. What I was saying was what I could see as being a good underlying issue for this is that someone other than Lucius Fox is in control of Wayne Enterprises in this storyline, allowing one of the more major obstacles for this insane Bruce Wayne being that he wants to get control of his company back. That sort of, because like why else is he being kept in the asylum if it's not to keep him from running his own company?
But I think that would be kind of the poetic justice of him not even wanting it. I think if I started to make him go after his business, it's just the Green Arrow comic. That's about 30% of Green Arrow's storyline is him struggling to get his business back from some shady fucker who stole it.
Got it. Well, I mean, he doesn't own that either. That's well established in at least in the Batman cinematography.
Oh, definitely.
Cinematic realm.
I would probably try to put a little bit different flavor on it.
And I don't blame you. I'm just I'm never gonna author this because if I were to author a Batman comic, you already know how I would.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing
and it would be
straight
good too.
Chinatown noir style.
Yeah.
We're doing it like no capes, no flying around through the air. Like we're talking limited technology. My Batman would have to rely very heavily on being the world's greatest detective.
Right.
And he would not be he wouldn't maybe necessarily be he might still be the kung fu expert, but I might not even have grappling hooks in mind. I want to see that, I want to see it taken down to Batman as a man,
right?
Still just whooping ass out there. He could still be rich, but I want to almost do it in a different time period where technologically he's sort of gridlocked, where he can only advance so much.
Right.
That's the one that I would work on. Would be a throwback to the roots of Batman.
Right.
But I love this idea.
Almost like Sin City meets Wild Wild West.
Oh, Wiki Wild Wild West.
Anywho, I thought Batman Day was pretty fun. Although I walked away with the little extra something.
The funny thing about Batman Day for the two of us was, as much as we loved Batman Day, and Batman is still my favorite superhero and favorite comic book character, probably will never change. Our joy on Batman Day didn't come from Batman. For me, it was finding a $1 Chuck Norris comic, which I
saw that.
I'm thinking about swinging back. I don't know. I may swing back to the comic shop and buy that damn Chuck Norris comic for $1, just so I have, to me that belongs on my wall somewhere.
Right.
The Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. I also found an action figure of Kevin Smith podcasting with a microphone in his hand. Those are my two biggest finds, my two favorite things I found on Batman Day. And I said mine first because you walked away with the real treasure.
Oh my god. I'll put it this way. I loved it more than than actually seeing Batman speechless on the last page of the, first issue of the Rebirth of, the free comic today, the free Bat comic today. I got the first appearance of Deadpool.
Bam.
So, yeah.
It is nice. Well,
it is very nice.
For those that were like me, that don't know what the first issue Deadpool was featured on.
Deadpool was featured in the first issue of the New Mutants. Or not the first issue, I'm sorry. Jesus, I'm fucking up. He was featured
Some expert you are.
I know, right? Hey, I never said words expert. Enthusiast, chronic masturbator, baby daddy, sometimes.
But I say it for you all the time on the internet when I'm trying to give myself credibility through you.
Fair enough.
No, I don't.
I
no,
guess.
I don't do that.
It's number 98 of the New Mutants. And I hate even trying to say this dude's last name. Fabian Nisizin? I apologize. I know I probably butchered it to fuck.
So I would just shoot him a tweet. We good.
And Robert Liefeld.
Our boy.
Yeah.
Everybody's boy at this point.
Yeah. And it's the first appearance of Deadpool.
I know you're excited, and
I am.
I think now is the time for you to tell the people why. Because a week from tomorrow will be.
Actually,
there's going to be a massive.
A week from yesterday.
There's going to be a massive takeover of the Bad Dinner Guest Network.
We're going to be covering the Cincinnati Comic Expo down in, you guessed it, Cincinnati.
Sin City, baby.
Yeah. So, I dipped into my funds for, there, and I bought this ish because I want Robert Liefeld to sign it. And if I can get him to sign this, I already know the one I'm going to have Stan Lee sign, the first appearance of Gambit of X-Men. So, I'm going to be walking away with some sexy signatures on my precious little babies.
And you beautiful people will get the benefit of seeing everything that we see, as at the very least Lou and I, we are still working on who else in the network will be coming with us, but Lou and I will be there all 3 days to cover it, sending you pictures, some videos, some live tweets, so you can, if you're stuck working this weekend, or if you don't have the time to go out to Cincinnati, you can live vicariously through us nerds.
We're all, and I know personally, I'm going to be covering the Stan Lee panel. I bought the whole package. I bought the Stan Lee Experience package, so I'm going to be sharing that experience with you. Yeah.
My inner 12-year-old had to giggle at the Stan Lee
Me buying
Experience.
Stan Lee's package?
No, the way it was phrased, I want the Stan Lee Experience package. I'm like, yeah, I bet you do. But
yeah. Yeah, I do.
Giggity.
Give me them 93 years of hips, old man.
Right. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to cover it. I'll actually be cosplaying as a journalist while we're there.
I'm going to cosplay on Saturday as, what I'm calling Vacation Pool. So I'm going to have my Deadpool mask on, a random cool shirt, plaid shorts, and socks and sandals, and I have the makeup kit to give myself sores. And I'm going to wear the a black pair of gloves.
Yeah. Makeup,
Yeah. Yeah.
So now,
it's actually called herpes.
So if you guys see us out in Cincinnati, come give us some love. We'll put you on the internet.
And that too, because we're going to take pictures of us with these people doing some of the cosplays. I think that'll be one that'll be really fun to do. It's this next weekend is just going to be an overload. That's one of my friends. I got invited to 2 different parties, and I was going to bring you because you're my buddy.
I like how you're big timing me on air, but continue.
I'm sorry. It's just my Art's birthday party is going to be on one of the days. I don't want to say too much. He might end up listening to this at some point, and it's supposed to be a surprise. I know I just totally fucked him.
You guys keep pretending like nobody listens to us, man. People
Spoiler. So it's already late to even be like, damn it, Art, unhear that.
Alert, Art.
I know. But I didn't say where we were gonna meet and anything like that. And my buddy Jared is going away parties that same night. Like, I don't even know if I'll be able to go to both of them.
Well, we're gonna be crashing some parties.
So yeah,
on the weekend. Yeah,
definitely
so, fun.
So yeah,
this is probably cool. Thanks for telling us your party schedule.
Yeah, I'm going to be covering. I went ahead and sprung for the VIP package with Robert Liefeld, so I'm going to meet him and stuff. I'm really looking forward to it.
So am I. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a fun weekend though, and we'll have a lot of content for you guys by the time it's all said and done. We have some new content coming out tonight. We have the premiere episode of Shadow Play Paranormal.
We do.
Our buddy Nate. He's talking about his life experiences, some travel destinations, but mainly his experiences as a ghost hunter. And he's got a great show lined up tonight at 9:30 on the network. We'll be back here over the next couple of days. Stay tuned for our companion podcast later today. We got more Batman stuff coming.
Oh.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Well, I know you got a chub when I invited you. Well, I didn't even invite you. I was like, hey, Batman Day Saturday.
And then I invited
and
myself.
you were like, dude, I want to go. And I was like, cool. I was going to ask you to go. So, yes, that's awesome. And that's, there's something I need to brainstorm with you that I'd like to, I don't know about it yet. It's a bit crazy.
Ooh, yes, let's tease them. I like
But that's exactly what it's about, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to smear it across their lips a little bit.
Just planting some seeds out here. Well.
So, yeah.
Happy Batman Day again to everyone.
Happy Batman Day, people.
It's been wonderful.
Keep that cowl on tight.
Don't forget. Oh, I do. Before we leave, I think we should toss out some
definitely.
love. We want to say thank you to Comic Town. That's where we went today for our Batman Day experience. You can follow them on Twitter at Comic Town. Like them on Facebook, Comic Town.
Worldofcomictown.com.
And you can watch them on YouTube. www.youtube.com/user/comictown, where they have their podcast. Black, white, and red all over. That's our.
They are, for those of you that are Columbus locals, Morse Road, over there by the 71 exit.
Yeah, so.
Right there, Morse and Mays, that little shopping center by the Dollar General.
So definitely go check out Comic Town. There, actually, while we were there, they were doing a professional qualifying tournament for Magic
the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. And
they're always doing events.
Yeah, they're always doing some cool stuff. They've got podcasts. Much love to them. Also, as always, guys, you can be sure to follow us on Twitter at Bad Dinner Guest. Like us on Facebook, Bad Dinner Guest. You can check out our blog. Lou and I both have short stories up there.
Definitely. I'm under Lucius. That's my writing name.
I am always and will always just be Kev.
Mm-hmm.
So check us out there.
Kevlon the Teflon Don.
Get more nicknames now than I know what to do with. But anyway.
That's his bedroom name. Everything slides right off.
BadDinnerGuest.blogspot.com, damn it. I'm trying to pitch the damn blog.
I know. And I'm trying to pitch you, Big Sexy.
You won't even let me say the name. And on that note,
we're out of
as
here.
always, we're out of here.